You have never actually chosen most of your decisions. They were made for you before you even realized a decision was happening. And the system responsible for that is running inside your brain right now. Think about the last time you felt instantly uncomfortable around someone you just met. You did not analyze them. You did not review their history. You did not run a logical assessment. You just felt it, and that feeling arrived so fast, so completely formed, that it felt less like a conclusion and more like a fact. Now think about the last time you drove a familiar route and arrived at your destination without remembering the drive. Your hands turned the wheel, your foot worked the pedals, your eyes read the road, and your conscious mind was somewhere else entirely. Both of these experiences point to the same thing. There is a part of your brain doing an enormous amount of work that you are not aware of at all. In behavioral psychology, this is one of the most important and well-documented ideas of the last 50 years. The human brain operates using two distinct systems of thinking. Psychologist Daniel Kahneman described these as System 1 and System 2. These are not physical structures. They are modes of processing, two different ways your brain handles information. And understanding the difference between them changes how you see almost every decision you have ever made. System 1 is fast. It operates automatically, continuously, and almost entirely outside your conscious awareness. It does not require effort. It does not ask for permission. It simply runs. System 1 is responsible for recognizing faces, reading emotional tone, detecting danger, responding to sudden sounds. When you see the number 2 plus 2, System 1 already knows the answer before you consciously decided to solve it. When someone speaks to you in an angry tone, System 1 registers the threat before you have processed the words. When you walk into a room and instantly feel that something is off, that is System 1 reading dozens of subtle environmental cues. Fast, automatic, effortless, and wrong. More often than you think. System 2 is slow. It is deliberate, conscious, effortful. When you solve a complex math problem or carefully read a contract, System 2 is working. When you force yourself to consider a perspective you instinctively disagree with, that effortful pause is System 2. System 2 can override System 1. It can catch errors, question assumptions, slow the process down. But System 2 has a critical weakness. It is expensive. It consumes mental energy. It gets tired. And because it is effortful, your brain avoids using it whenever possible. This is not laziness. This is efficiency. Your brain is conserving resources. But the cost is that System 1 makes far more of your decisions than you realize. Here is how the two systems work together in practice. System 1 is always on, scanning and generating responses. System 2 is the supervisor. It is supposed to monitor System 1 and intervene when necessary. But System 2 is not very attentive. Most of the time, it simply endorses whatever System 1 has already decided. And then it constructs a logical-sounding explanation for a decision that was never actually logical. This is why people can give very articulate reasons for choices they made entirely on instinct. System 1 decided. System 2 explained. You see this pattern everywhere. A hiring manager meets a candidate. Within 30 seconds, System 1 has already decided. A person reads a headline that confirms something they already believe. System 1 accepts it immediately. It feels true. A consumer walks into a store. System 1 responds to lighting, layout, and the feeling of wanting. The decision is already made. There is a concept called cognitive ease. When information feels easy to process, System 1 treats it as safe, true. When information feels difficult to process, System 1 flags it as unfamiliar, suspicious, possibly false. This means that things presented clearly, simply, and repeatedly feel more true. Not because they are, but because they are easier. Your brain is not evaluating truth, it is evaluating ease. System 1 wins most of the time because it is faster than the problem. By the time you register a situation, it has already responded. Overriding a feeling with logic requires effort. Effort requires energy. Energy is finite. In a world that demands thousands of decisions every day, your brain simply cannot afford to run System 2 for all of them. Understanding this does not mean distrusting every instinct. An experienced doctor's gut feeling is pattern recognition built from experience. The problem is using System 1 in situations that require System 2, using instinct where evidence is needed, speed where accuracy matters. The question is, how do I know when to activate System 2? The answer is uncomfortable. Activate it when you feel most certain. Because certainty is often System 1's signature. These are the moments to pause, not because you're always wrong, but because you're not always right. This is the thinking error. If this gave you something to think about, you already know what to do.